Simon Roberts from Canada said, I received my radial rocker about a month ago, and then I set it up for some jobs, giving me a lot of trouble with the rinse bar, and I wanted to know if I got a defective one. So I spoke to Simon myself, and I wanted to check whether he had upgraded to high-flow tube, because the 3/8 inch OD tube carries twice as much water for the same pressure to the brush. And if you look at all the radial brushes, apart from the lights, all the radial brushes are fed from the bottom with a T. So you've got 8mm OD coming around the brush. Oh, maybe I could grab one.
I was thinking the same. Brilliant.
Right, this is the beauty of the workshop.
Yeah? You just pull it off the wall.
So we have 10mm 3/8 inch coming in here, but it goes into a T, and then there's an 8mm or a 5/16 tube coming around here and coming around here. So the scientific calculation of a reach-it brush is that the volume of water that can be held in a 10mm 3/8 tube is double what can be held in a 5/16 inch tube. So 2 times the water going in here, 1 times there, 1 times there, 26 jets out. So it's completely balanced.
It's this tube here, right? The high-flow
Yeah, this is the high-flow tube, and we're going to do a little session on tube, but you can kind of see, the difference. And the ID is what we're dealing with. Like, we talk in OD, but the ID is the internal diameter of those, and what you're actually calculating is the cross-sectional area. I'm going to do a reach-it workshop on that. That's one of my ones I'm really passionate about. So it's the cross-sectional area of this versus this. This is just short of twice that.
So the high-flow is the blue, and the rhino tube is
Rhino
green.
tube, yeah.
All right, cool. How's the coffee?
Coffee's good. It's American coffee, because Jen buys it. All right, so then we said, well, what, then I rang him up and I said, well, what's going on? And he said, well, I've got water coming out normally on one side, but it's not coming out normally on the other side. Maybe it's defective. And I said, so you may not know, but sitting in here, there's a little bulge right there in the tube, and these are actually filters. So the logic is that because you can't easily, we give you a little pin to clean these if they get blocked, the jets. However, it's much smarter for us to put a filter in your brush.
It's just in the little tube there.
Yeah, well, it's inserted in the tube. So, if you ever need to clear that, you have to pull the tube off, pull it straight off the rinse bar. You don't pull it at an angle because you'll possibly break the rinse bar, but you pull it straight off the rinse bar and then reverse flush it, and you can clear this out. And some guys say, because it's there to catch the debris when you're dragging your hose on the ground and there's a gardiner there, and they do, it's on the pure side of the system, but they still drag it on the ground and you get a little bit of grass or a bit of dirt or dust or something like that.
We have actually unboxing radial rocker. In that video, you can actually see how to flush that filter.
Unboxing radial rocker.
Unboxing radial rocker, you can find it in YouTube.
YouTube.
Or even web store.
Oh, in the web store as well. Oh, yeah. It's in the web store as well. Yeah, so you can see all about this little filter here, and it's designed to catch any debris, so the debris doesn't get caught in the jets, because the reach-it jets are what you'd call a closed system, right? We don't have open ends or opening ends or anything like that, so you can clean them out. So it's prevention is better than cure, yeah, like that. All right, so actually that's what happened. So he had a blocked filter. He grabbed some stuff. Now, one of the other things that we found out from guys up in Canada is that if the performance of the brush is intermittent, he was getting, I can't remember who it was, but he was getting little icicles caught in the filter.
What?
Little icicles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it was like, 0 degrees, and the water would gone kind of slushy, and this was clogging up with little icicles. So it was kind of, he'd go out in the morning, it would work, and then it wouldn't work, and then maybe he'd stop, put it in his van, and then it would work properly.
So the temperature can affect many parts parts.
Many parts. So in that case, you know, what I said to him is, you know, be very aware that you can introduce debris into your system, but you don't. This filter is not actually necessary. So he can cut a piece of rhino tube or 8mm tube, and he can just run a piece the same length and not use the filter when he's working. And then maybe the icicles will get caught in the jets or not.
But he got it working.
Yeah, he got it working. Yeah, so we overcame that one. And then the other one, he said, maybe another phone call, but basically sometimes guys come from other brushes, from other manufacturers, and they, you know, if you've got pencil jets, you want it to squirt 3 or 4 feet. If you've got fan jets, maybe you want it to squirt 2 feet. And then some of the other rinse bar products, you know, maybe it squirts 2 feet or 18 inches or whatever. But remember that all of those other brushes all need you to take the brush off the glass to rinse corners, rinse edges. So they basically make a faster off-glass rinse. But Radial is an on-glass rinse. So we only need the water to squirt 6 inches, right? If it gets out here, and sometimes people think that the jets are doing the rinse, but they're really not. The jets are putting the water on the glass above the bristles, and the water sits on the bristles, and that's the final rinse, because that's what makes the water cascade down the glass. So the jets put the water on the bristles break the surface tension of the glass, and then the water cascades down the glass. And I'm working on something very exciting about that right now. So that was Simon Roberts answered.